Alex Polizzi is an award-winning hotelier with over 20 years' experience working in the world's most luxurious hotels. Born into the legendary Forte hotel dynasty, she's on a crusade to transform Britain's most desperate hotels and B&Bs. From outrageous owners to dodgy decor.
That isn't a great start.
Nothing escapes the hotel inspector's beady eye.
This whole floor is unsealed.
Or her quest for perfection.
I don't want to go. It'll be the end.
The reality is, darling, this is the business we're in.
This week, as the hotel inspector finally met her match.
You won't like me when I'm angry. This is a glamorous little bint, you know, little boots.
You look it up, it's the White Horse Risby.
No, it isn't.
I'm not sure what you're trying to do here.
The White Horse, an historic coaching inn located deep in the heart of Suffolk. Home to the Wrigleys, 45-year-old Kiwi Paul and 58-year-old Brummie Anne.
It's got to be easier occupations than being a fucking hotelier.
A landlady who's been described as larger than life.
You wouldn't believe this body armour I'm wearing today. It goes from here to here.
My role is normally just to keep Anne in check, make sure she's behaving herself.
Covering my memories up.
Anne and Paul were both seduced by the romance of running the ancient hotel.
We both fell in love with it the minute we saw it. Talk about it like it's an individual, don't we?
I suppose it is a bit like a marriage, you know. You have your ups and downs, but still carry on.
The White Horse has allowed the couple to realise their dream of working together.
From that day to this, we've not been separated.
No,
I love him to death.
sometimes.
Completing the team is 31-year-old manager and business partner Jonathan Reed.
I work in the kitchen, helping the laundry, housekeeping.
Somebody's had a lucky night. A used condom wrapper.
The bar, the waiter in.
Oh, I'm also the ironer.
Every part of the aspect of running the business.
He's doing all the work and we're standing watching him.
Supervisor. Oh, well, now different there, is it?
Oh, God.
Although all three have a hand in running the White Horse, one woman clearly holds the reins.
Oh, my God.
You okay? Anne's colourful behaviour is not quite what I'd expect in an establishment the whole time.
I might wear a wig tomorrow.
Wig on today?
Well, I did think about it, but I thought I didn't want to be ostentatious.
Most people love her, you know. You'll get the odd person that might not like it being interrupted while they're eating, so...
She's a good communicator.
I am a bull in a china shop, born and will die one. Sorry, Dan, can you pick that up first?
Very, very hard how to say, well, and you need to sort of back out a bit. It can cause conflict.
You won't like me when I'm angry.
And Anne's in-your-face approach to hosting may be having an effect on the business.
Sometimes Anne will talk to people and engage conversation with them while they're eating, but, you know, some people do like that and some people don't.
You either love me or hate me.
Despite Anne's jovial front, the White Horse is barely hobbling along. Anne and Paul have ploughed their life savings into the business. But with turnover in decline and no profit for 5 years, has their love for the hotel become a fatal attraction?
We did have a 5-year plan, didn't we? We're about 3 years behind. Have a bit of a crack in?
Yes, you can knit a bit of crack.
We can't sell it, we can't tenant it, and we've exhausted every avenue. It's our entire future, and all it needs is to be profitable. Now all we need are customers.
Yeah.
We have put everything into the White Horse. I can't walk away from it. But I'm fed up beat my head against the brick wall sometimes. Kiss, kiss.
Enter the hotel inspector. Alex Polizzi has run some of the most exclusive establishments in the world, and it's her aim to turn the White Horse into a thoroughbred business.
This is an establishment for enjoyment, which Alex will understand. This is a fun house. She might disagree with that description, actually, but let's go with it anyway. Fun house.
Well, it's a very pretty exterior. It's rather nice to come somewhere that I'm pleased to arrive at. However, it's a bit tatty, and I hate the laughing chef. Somehow, it all looks a bit amateur.
To get an idea of just what she's up against, Alex is going to stay the night.
Hello. Hi,
Alex Polizzi, hi.
Hi. Nice to meet
Anne,
you.
Pleased to meet you.
lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for inviting me here.
And we hope you have your magic wand with you.
Oh yes, packed, always. Don't you worry
This is
about
good.
that. Good. What do we do first? Do you want to show me up the room?
Yes, can do. Yeah.
Yeah? Lovely, thank you.
The inn has 7 ensuite rooms and a family suite, priced at between £45 and £50 a night.
Because it's an old building, some people say, well, it's not like a travel lodge. Well, no. It's 18th century. It's not going to be like a travel lodge.
Thank you.
This is your room.
See, it smells very clean.
Nice view.
Is it noisy, the road?
Sometimes.
Thank you very much. All right.
Right.
Look at the colour of that wall. Glow in the dark. I think this is what's commonly called, in cheap design parlance, a feature wall.
If anybody runs it down, we go whoppo, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't run it down because it's our baby.
Little bit cheap and tacky. Generic wall pictures. Paris in springtime. I mean, you know, what has Risby got to do with Paris in springtime?
It's full of character, though. Absolute loads of character.
The Ascot suite.
But it seems when it comes to the bedrooms, the White Horse's oldie-worldy charm is well hidden.
Basically, take an old coaching inn. You certainly don't chuck it full of cheap modern furniture. What you've done in this room is removed every ounce of potential character that you might possibly have got. And then also, I found it incredibly depressing that every crap hotel somehow feels that they make up for a plethora of design sins by putting a thing of dried flowers in the room. It just doesn't work, let me tell you. It never has worked and it never will.
Next, Alex wants to check out the family suite, accessed through a store cupboard.
Well, this is appealing. This is supposed to be the suite. Why the hell doesn't someone tidy this up? Why is it acceptable to have piles of linen next to milk, next to cleaning products? I don't know. It's a completely insane way to walk into a room.
On the other side of the cupboard, it's hardly Narnia.
Well, this room's obviously occupied, so I can't be too rude about the disorder in here. But it's not often that you see 2 beds shoehorned into a kitchenette.
Next door, there's another unwelcoming surprise in store for Alex.
The one thing that this place looks like is a country pub. But you'll be interested to know that Monday to Friday, the bar is only open from 5 till 9. And you know, on a Sunday, unless you check in 12 noon to 4 p.m, they don't want you. Honestly, they just somehow seem to be missing the point.
So can Alex help the White Horse over its current hurdles?
So you made that, did you?
No. Truth is, they're brought in.
I don't like standing with a white horse asking questions of people who are running away from me.
I'm not sure what you're trying to do here. It feels like a bit of a bastard child of 1,000 maniacs.
That could have been a bloodbath.
The historic White Horse in Risby has been pulling in the punters for centuries. But since taking it over 5 years ago, Anne and Paul Wrigley have been unable to make a profit. They're hoping hotel inspector Alex Polizzi can prevent their business from going to the knacker's yard. So far, she's uncovered uniquely limited opening hours.
It should be a kind of come spend your money here as often as you want and as long as you like.
And lame decor, distinctly at odds with the traditional exterior.
There's not one thing in this room that is even vaguely appealing.
Now Alex wants to check out if the kitchen delivers the home-cooked country fare she'd expect from an Old English coaching inn. With no permanent chef, Paul and manager Jonathan have to do all the cooking themselves. A situation Jonathan is far from happy with.
I'm meant to be here as the manager, but I feel that I'm not the manager.
Are you ready to order?
I am.
Yes.
Can I please try the gammon steak?
Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck in that kitchen. I want to be back managing. People want me back out the front, talking to them.
And what's the pie of the week?
It's steak today.
Homemade?
Yes.
By whom?
Jonathan.
Okay.
To test their expertise in the kitchen, Alex has ordered an array of dishes. But the homemade pie isn't quite all it seems.
Truth is, they're brought in. So we'll wait and see what she has to say about it, because whether she notices. Finally, where would you like this one, Alex?
So you made that, did you?
No.
Where did you get that from? A supermarket?
Yes.
Try the carbonara.
The sauce, maybe a bit too thick.
And try this.
Cajun chicken.
Yeah. Chicken is good, well cooked, but it's quite spicy, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got the burn.
This is pub grub, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Okay.
The White Horse's food offering is more supermarket ready meal than hearty home-cooked fare. And Alex thinks the kitchen must raise its game.
The thing is, somewhere like this, that's actually at the centre of a village, should have better than the basic food. And that's really all they're offering.
The White Horse is suffering an identity crisis in both bedroom and kitchen, and the hotel inspector is struggling to get a handle on Anne's beloved boozer.
I'd like to understand how you see this business, because, you know, darling, from the outside you arrive and it looks like this idyllic country pub. And then I see that you're very proud of the kind of coaching in heritage, but the rooms don't reflect that. What is this place? Because you're giving off such mixed messages.
This is the Saxon White Horse and its heritage.
That again is a very mixed message. So, you look it up, it's the White Horse Risby.
No, it isn't.
Well, that's what it says on the sign
Oh, it should be on the fucking sign then. I'm going to get up there and paint it off myself now. It is not the White Horse Risby, it is the Saxon White Horse.
It is the White Horse Risby. Why is that not enough for you? Are you trying to be a bit posher than it actually deserved?
This is a Saxon building in a Saxon enclave.
But, sweetheart, what does that have to do with the successful failure
It's
of the
heritage. It's heritage.
No. It feels like a bit of a bastard child of 1,000 maniacs. I'm not sure what you're trying to do here. Listen, I've got a lot of experience in this business, and I swear to you, I won't give you advice I don't believe in.
Alex turns in for the night, leaving Anne to ponder progress so far.
That could have been a bloodbath. Bastard of 1,000 maniacs. The White Horse Inn. Whew. I did think this is a glamorous little bint who's sort of built like Kylie Minogue, you know, little boots. She's not telling us anything we don't know. We know what she's telling us. When she tells us the remedy all the way forward, that's going to be the hard part.
The morning after the night before, and Alex is philosophical.
It was a very interesting evening. I think it got quite heated, didn't it, and quite emotional quite quickly, which is always good, because I like the fact that it cuts to the chase, that we're not wasting time, that we're starting to get to know each other.
Have you done the loos, Louise?
Not yet, I'm working my way round.
Oh, good girl. Good girl.
I was worried how Anne would react, and I thought Anne might just get up and walk away. But she took it well in the end.
Don't want any crumbs on Alex's breakfast now, do we?
Alex is now keen to carry on from where she left off, tackling the White Horse's identity crisis.
This downstairs area is the one bit I didn't get to yesterday. And rather grandly, this is called the Palmerston Suite. And there's the Ascot Servery, for example. There seems to be a touch of the hyacinth bouquets about this. You've got the lovely old hand pumps showing the hunt. But apart from that, it's all a bit anonymous. There's not one picture, there's not one thing that refers back to the landscape, and I think that's wrong.
Surrounded by mixed messages, Alex decides it's time to set things straight and lay out her plans to help get the White Horse back on track. First, the bar and bedrooms need a personality more befitting an 18th century coaching inn.
What I'm absolutely sure about is that this place needs to be unified. So the bedrooms and the ground floor need one identity. We need to put the character back in the place.
Yeah.
So we need this whole identity thing has got to be carried through. That's the first thing.
Second, the menu offering must be improved from the current basic pub grub to something more at one with the inn's traditional image.
I think it's far too big and far too boring. Instead of just having, you know, White Horse mixed grill platter, we will have so-and-so sausage with you know, we'll have a few speciality dishes that really refer back to the local area.
Next, Alex wants the White Horse team to focus on improving their dire local trade.
You have a B&B, a restaurant and a bar that has the strangest opening times that I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a public bar that's only open 5 till 9. Plus your funny little man outside with the closed sign on him. It's not clear when it's closed. You know, you've got to be clear about what you're offering. If other pubs and other eateries in the area are getting lunchtime trade, what is it that's putting them off? I want you to ask 50 people before I come back here.
Oh, my God.
Why they don't come and eat lunch here, or why they don't come and eat dinner here.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Well, you know...
I reckon you'll be really good at it.
I do too. We need to find out what people want so we can give it to them. That's the only reason. This isn't to put you on the spot. It's for the business I'm suggesting
Right.
this. Because wouldn't it be lovely if we just found out we're missing a simple trick?
Finally, the trio must learn to communicate better and share the White Horse workload.
I feel also slightly nervous about how the relationship works between you. I feel like, I think it's great that you two are such lovebirds, but it shouldn't restrict the business. I would like each of you to keep a diary for a week, independently, so no doing it together. OK? I want you to literally write down, came in at whatever time, did X, so that I get a real idea of the pattern of your working lives, because it's then a little bit easier to tweak it.
Alex is leaving the White Horse team with a clear blueprint. They must restore the style and character of a traditional coaching inn, enhance the bog-standard menu, entice the locals back, and make sure the workload is evenly shared. "5 weeks later, and the White Horse team are taking up Alex's challenge to do some market research. And they've got a plan guaranteed to attract attention.
Dressing up as a white horse is a really good gimmick. Hopefully it will get them some attention and they'll come back with some useful information.
It's teamwork, White Horse style. Anne holding the reins, husband Paul in the right spot for a sugar lump, and Jonathan at the business end.
Well, how you doing, Jonathan?
Backache.
Your backache? Have you heard of the White Horse Coaching Inn in Risby?
No.
No. Do you know the White Horse Inn in Risby? You don't? You wouldn't answer a questionnaire for me, would you? OK.
But Anne's not exactly enthused about the outing.
I don't like standing in Bury St Edmunds Square with a white horse asking questions of people who are running away from me. Lovely. Now, have you heard of the White Horse in Risby? You have. Good girl. That's a plus. Yes.
After approaching not much more than half a dozen locals,
All right, horsey. Have you had enough?
Anne and her steed trot off. Back at the hotel, the team get to work on Alex's suggestion of making the inn a more traditional destination.
Out goes the orange. In comes the white. But it makes a change to me have a paper instead of a gin and tonic in one hand, the newspaper in the other. No, she said decluttered, they've all got to go.
Right, yeah.
We've denuded the place, got rid of all the artificial flowers. It's got to go, got to go. And the place looks absolutely empty.
Jonathan, Paul and Anne have all got their hands dirty with the decorating. But manager Jonathan, still a slave to the kitchen, is worried the shared workload may only be a temporary measure.
Since Alex asked us to do the diaries, Anne and Paul all of a sudden seem to jump in and be doing a lot more. It annoys me to think that I'm doing more work than anyone else. It is getting to me at times, big time.
Another busy day.
It stresses me out, but I find it very hard to talk to her.
Motor on and carry on. That's what they say. Can't let a ship sink.
With emotions running high, can Alex bring harmony to the White Horse?
Get it out there, put it on the table.
I haven't got the balls to do it.
John has now been dragged off by Anne. God knows where.
He's the tyrant, I'm the easygoing one.
The White Horse in Risby, Suffolk, owned by husband and wife team Anne and Paul Wrigley, who run the 8-bedroom coaching inn alongside manager Jonathan Reed. But after 5 years, they haven't made a penny profit, and they're getting desperate.
We have put everything into the White Horse.
Hotel inspector Alex Polizzi has discovered an 18th century coaching inn with an identity crisis.
This is what's commonly called, in cheap design parlance, a feature wall. So you made that, did you?
No. Truth is, they're brought in.
And an unhappy manager who complains he's imprisoned in the kitchen. Alex has asked them all to produce a diary to demonstrate just who does what at the White Horse.
Anne was using the pub as an extension of her sitting room. John had been hired as a manager and was more or less working full-time in the kitchen, which he loathed. And who knows about Paul, because he barely opened his mouth to say 2 words.
Now Alex is back to see if Anne, Paul and Jonathan have pulled themselves together.
Well, I'm not thrilled to see that our little chef is still holding a closed sign and that this blackboard that tells you about when food is available is still minuscule. So there's already 2 things that I asked them to do that they haven't managed to.
Not the best start. Will it get any better inside?
Right, let's go
First,
this way, Alex.
Alex wants to see if the
yeah?
bedrooms have been toned down and
Let's see what we've
simplified.
been doing.
Ooh, the orange has gone.
The feature wall remains, but with a far less startling hue.
That's much softer. No fake flowers on the windowsills. This is all new too, isn't it?
Yes, do you remember you said to us that we had to, decide on the name?
Yep.
So we've gone for the White Horse Coaching Inn.
Good. Very good choice.
And Paris has left the wall.
Paris has left the building. Good.
The initially sceptical Anne is now a convert.
Believe it or not, we got 2 of the best reviews on the internet we've ever had. So Alex is right and I'm wrong. People don't like clutter and they don't like dry flowers, so c'est la vie.
But the entrance to the family suite remains an untidy storeroom.
Madam,
Oh dear.
you are going to do something about this today.
Well, this is the housekeeper's preserve, really, but...
Well, you are the boss of the housekeeper. This is up to you to sort out.
While Anne deals with the detritus, Alex wants to find out if manager Jonathan is happier with his lot. Yet again, she finds him in the kitchen.
So, darling, I want to find out what is going on, because you said to me that you'd been spending too much time in the kitchen as it is.
Well, I have been spending a lot of time in the kitchen. I will admit that. I'm spending, well, most of my days in here.
So, are you going to... What do you think will happen here if it's not sorted out?
Well, I'll be honest, I think I'll go. I'll be gone.
Well, then, why, if you think that anyway, don't you tackle this, darling?
Just haven't got the balls to do it.
I think you've got the balls. Honestly, darling, I suggest to you that you take your courage in your hands and talk to Paul, maybe, about the situation. Get it out there, put it on the table, and then let him go and tell Anne, if that's what he wants to do. It's healthier that everyone knows what the real situation is.
That is true.
I'm really concerned about John and his role here. He never wanted to be a chef. He's fallen into it by accident. He wants to be a manager. I really hope he'll stay, because, quite honestly, I can't see how Paul and Anne are going to manage without him.
Got to do this room.
With Anne busy in the closet...
Hairspray. Oh, air freshener. Needs a bit of that.
Alex takes Jonathan and Paul on a field trip to a local farm shop. She wants them to perk up their well-meaning but uninspiring menu.
I hope they're going to pick up a few items, take them back to the White Horse, and then put them on the menu. So when I ate with you that evening, I was missold a homemade pie that was a kind of pale imitation of something that looks this beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure it probably cost you, what, £2? Less than that?
Less than that.
Yeah, but it tasted like it.
Meanwhile, Anne is still mucking out the White Horse.
I think I'm going to have to say I'm defeated on this objective without help. I don't know what to do next now, apart from waving my bag around. If I shut the door, Alex can't see it.
Nervous about approaching Anne, Jonathan takes the opportunity to confide in Paul just how unhappy he is.
I love working with her. I don't want to leave or anything like that, but the honest truth, from being in the kitchen the whole time, it's not where I want to be the whole time.
I know, yeah.
You know,
Right.
and it is eating me apart.
Yeah.
And you're most really noticing it, and I just can't keep going.
Right.
I'll be honest. But I can't talk to Anne because I feel that I can talk to you a lot easier.
Yeah.
At the White Horse, Paul has passed news of John's feelings to Anne, who hastily arranges a meeting of her own without Alex.
I'm waiting to sit down for a chat, but as soon as we came back from the farm shop where John showed his hand to Paul, John has now been dragged off by Anne, God knows where. He should have been able to talk to her, and the fact that he couldn't says a lot about her and about him.
40 minutes later, the team re-emerge.
We had a heart-to-heart. Jonathan obviously feels easier with Paul. And yeah, he's the tyrant. I'm the easygoing one.
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll tell us now before letting him wind himself up. He'll let us know what's on his mind, and then we can sort things out.
I feel there's a big weight lifted off my shoulders. I do feel happier and relieved now.
Oh, good.
Hello.
Hi, I was worried you weren't coming back.
Oh, no. Just had a little tete-a-tete.
Cleared the air?
Yes. Well, exposed vulnerabilities that we weren't aware of.
Yeah.
With clearing the air the name of the game, Alex wants to address a few concerns of her own.
If you're going to improve and build, you have to be painfully honest, both with yourselves and each other, about what you want to do, how much you're prepared to put into this business, the hours you can actually face working. What do you want? Mm-hmm. Because a happy establishment shows the moment you walk in the door. Yeah? I'd like to know specifically for this region what people want so that we can give it to them. The marketing, the questionnaires, for example. I asked you to do at least, I think I asked you to do 50, didn't I?
And I've got at least 5.
5. You need a bit more evidence to build on. I haven't looked at diaries yet. You're the owner of the White Horse. If you choose not to do any work at all, it is no skin off my nose, darling. But I do think that it is useful to see how everyone is spending their time.
To help lift morale and to try to encourage more customers, Alex has decided to lend her design skills to the White Horse.
I think the most important thing for the moment is that I freshen up downstairs, because I'd like it to be somewhere that people want to sit and that they want to come. And that I think, you know, it feels a bit tired in here.
Yep.
Agreed on that.
Yeah? I'm also, however, going to help a bit with the Huntington suite. I will make it so it's in keeping with the other rooms. So hopefully, you know, it will be an addition to your business.
Alex hopes her planned improvements will help rejuvenate business and that the frank discussions will improve the working structure.
I'm absolutely determined that the White Horse is going to be a success rather than ending up in a knacker's yard.
A new day, and the White Horse trio set to work on attracting more local and passing trade.
Foxy bloody sign that is, isn't it? So we take the White Horse Hotel and restaurant off, we put the White Horse coaching in, food and rooms, and put it there so people will see it. And we're going to have a bigger one than they've got.
A new sign is on its way in. The laughing chef is on his way out.
Time to go, Giuseppe. Right. Or at least he's out the way now.
Yeah.
See if Alex knows him round here.
Inside, Alex's team get to work on the family suite and the restaurant. And Paul fixes some doors to hide the messy cleaning cupboard.
Alex wanted this door put in, so what goes on behind there, nobody knows about.
Alex is back, but before she unveils her makeovers, she's keen to see what changes the White Horse team have made to the exterior.
First of all, congratulations. I'm really glad to see that Giuseppe, your little Italian chef, has gone. It looks so much nicer. That A-board, that sign looks fantastic. It's really clear.
Having achieved a more appealing roadside welcome, Alex takes the trio to see the improvements she's made inside. The jumble of mismatched styles and charmless spaces has been unified with a modern take on the traditional coaching inn.
I think this is going to be the key spot by the fire, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely warm sort of spot there.
A better table and banquette.
It looks more like you want to sit there now.
It's like you'd want to sit there.
Yeah,
I imagine
it is.
this will become a very popular little snuggling area.
Yeah.
Upstairs, the family suite has been transformed. The cleaner's dumping ground has been screened from guests.
Ta-da! Still a whole load of housekeeping crap. And who cares? Because the guest doesn't have to see it. Yeah.
The characterless double is gone, replaced with a warm and welcoming single.
Beautiful. Astonishing. I never thought this room would look so nice.
And with the outdated kitchenette removed, the twin room has been reworked into a cosy family space, complete with sumptuous beds and local Suffolk scenes.
Nice.
Oh my God. I can't believe it's the same room.
It doesn't look anything like the other room, does it?
No one would be upset at being shown this room, would they?
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Well, if the Queen of Sheba is pleased, I too am pleased. You're the Queen of Sheba.
Now that Alex has brought character back to the inn, the White Horse is ready for the final furlong.
The challenge is in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to come back here and I want to see this place open all day. I'd like you to encourage various people to come in all through the day, because this is a typical local country pub. that you have to go back to the roots of the coaching inn. You know, you want people to come here for a variety of reasons. Good ale, good food, good company, a bed for the night. I think it's very important that you reach out to locals again. But I think you have to say, we've turned over a new leaf, we are not those people anymore, give us another chance. You don't want to be the person behind the bar who's having a couple of glasses of wine at night, because actually you want to keep it professional. So I'll be interested to see, you know, how are you going to manage it? How are you going to do it between you, the teamwork? How will that develop? You know, this business needs every single one of you.
But can the White Horse make it past the finishing post?
We had a bit of a bombshell this week. We're quite upset. But it's business, isn't it?
Are you worried about what will happen here?
Yes. I've got the worries.
The White Horse Coaching Inn, Risby. Hotel Inspector Alex Polizzi has been helping Anne and Paul Wrigley, together with hotel manager Jonathan Reed. Alex wants the White Horse to get back to its roots as a traditional coaching inn and to set them the challenge of luring back the locals turned off by charmless decor, pre-packed food and Anne's in-your-face dining experience. But as the big day looms, the Wrigleys receive some unsettling news.
We've had a bit of a bombshell this week. Jonathan told us that he's leaving the White Horse. We're quite upset about that. And we rely on him a lot, so I can't...
I've handed my resignation into Anne and Paul this week. I'm going to be leaving in a few weeks' time. I felt it's time for myself to move on.
Well, actually, Jonathan didn't tell me. Jonathan told Anne. But yeah, I was shocked.
He's been good, he's been loyal.
In some ways, I'm sad to leave here. It's going to be a bit of a hard day when it comes. They've treated me like a member of their family, which has been lovely.
It's business, isn't it? Alex would say, what are you talking about? This is business.
Despite his resignation, Jonathan is determined to make a success of the big day. He heads into the community to drum up business.
I've done about 500 emails over the last few days to different companies, businesses. Been out in the town as well, handing out hundreds of leaflets again to them. Hello there, would you mind if I give you a flyer? We just work at the White Horse at Risby. Bring your family and everyone up. Come and have a look. Thank you very much.
It's the day of the big event, and the first time the hotel is open all day for business.
Right, boys, how are we getting on?
Oh, we're nearly there now in here.
Lovely.
Having sent out over 700 invites, the team prepare the White Horse for its grand show, while Alex makes her way back to check on progress.
At last, a new sign, and it actually says food and rooms. It tells people what they do here, which is quite important, I suggest.
She may be impressed with the exterior, but it's the news of Jonathan's resignation that Alex is keen to catch up on.
So you've got another week here.
Yes, another week.
Are you worried about what will happen here?
Yes. I've got the worries.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm going to miss the team. Sort of think they're a good team really here, and I've grown with them.
Really wish you all the luck in the future and more immediately tonight.
Yes.
Jonathan may be leaving the White Horse for pastures new, but he's got one last service, and it's an important one.
Can you just sauce that one up, please?
With a full 12-hour shift to fill and a new set menu of traditional dishes inspired by the visit to the local farm shop, the coaching inn is expecting to be busier than ever. But as people start to arrive, will the White Horse buck under the pressure?
Well, it's starting to get quite busy, which is good. And it's the first time I've ever seen the place even half full, so that's what I was aiming for.
Everybody arrived at the same time, which is never a good thing.
Guests are lapping up the home-cooked three-course menu. But how's Jonathan coping with the new array of locally sourced dishes?
So that's the curry nearly ready. Just give the rice a minute.
You're very calm, John.
I'm very calm, but I could do with a double vodka and Coke.
John's doing really well in a slightly chaotic situation. They're not used to doing a la carte, and they're not used to doing a la carte in such numbers. I mean, honestly and truly, I just wonder how the White Horse is going to manage without John. Very nice, darling, I must say. That looks good.
3 in the restaurant.
Let me get you some soup spoons. I'll be right back.
With Jonathan taking charge of the kitchen, Anne is tasked with looking after customers.
All right. Thank you very much, lovely jubbly. Keep it going.
Right, who's having the cod? Yes. That's you. And we didn't know what dip you'd like. Sweet chilli dip?
First time I've ever seen Anne do any work.
The new White Horse menu is sweetening the dining experience.
It's nice to see the place busy and have cars in the car park. So often we've come past recently and it looked empty and bleak from the outside. It looks wonderful, such an improvement.
We used to come in and leave fairly quickly, didn't we? But here, then come in, feel like hanging around now, and a bit longer.
I thought the atmosphere was really warm and welcoming. There was a really good turnout today. It's a very nice way to spend a lunchtime.
Guests are leaving satisfied. The new menu's been a success, and Anne has adopted a more professional approach to hosting. The event is over, and so is Alex's time at the White Horse.
Thank you.
Alex, I'll never forget you as long as I live.
I won't forget you either.
You're wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Kiss, kiss.
I wish you all the best, both of you. I hope it goes well.
What's your star sign?
I'm a Virgo.
A Virgo. I should be. Every day I will read your stars to see what you're doing. But yeah, we are upwards and onwards.
Good luck.
Thank you, yes.
Bye, darling.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
Bye.
Alex is leaving the White Horse with a restored sense of personality and tradition. The new decor, menu and opening hours offer a warm welcome, day and night.
I've done my best. I think I've certainly set them on the right path. And I wish Anne and Paul and the whole team all the best.
Before the hotel inspector came in, we were going to cut and run because we couldn't cope. We're looking at it now thinking, wow, didn't we do good? Didn't we do good?